Spaceship Music Collective. This is Six Set Bro, a misguided adventure through the social fringe of the music industry. I'm your host, Dom Maple. What's happening, everybody, and welcome to Six Set Bro Live. We're live, and it's Wednesday night. It's humping night. Hump day, babies. And I'm Dom Maple. I'm going to be your host on this music and entertainment podcast. I felt like this time in this episode, if you're watching the video one, I've kind of just put myself on the big screen. Because I thought it would be like sort of build the tension. Who we got on the show today, Don? Who knows? It's a mystery until I unveil them through the powers of technology. First and foremost, he's joined me for the last 2 episodes. We usually do him as the third person that we introduce, but we're going to do him second now, because now he has done the second most amount of episodes. I've done the most episodes of this show, and this guy has done the second most. It's the one, the only, the wonderful gamer, just Twitch streamer extraordinaire. I forget how to introduce him, but now he's got a stinger, and it's Nandez.
Yo.
Nandez, baby! So fresh, so clean. Just like the top of a mountain.
We've done exactly the same episodes, right?
I don't know. I can't remember.
No,
was there any episode that you ever didn't show up for?
I showed up halfway through the Sean McCann one.
That's true. That's true. I think I have the most airtime.
Yeah, that is true.
And you're second most.
For some reason, I also found, no joke, I just put my hand in my pocket and I found a leaf.
Oh. How did that get in there?
I don't know, working in
how
the
did
garden,
that get
I guess.
In there? It doesn't, like, tie you to any crimes or anything, does it?
No. I don't think so.
My wife has some sort of irrational fear about, like, what if one of her hairs, like, comes off and blows in the wind and ends up at a murder scene, and then she's, like, they incriminate her.
Maybe this is like an assassin's warning or something.
Yeah,
like
it
in,
does kind of.
Like in kung fu movies.
You've been playing too much Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know how to say it. Don't know how to say it.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Tsushima.
You have to kind of say it.
Tsushima.
Yeah.
And then the guy, he's been slacking off, frankly. He hasn't been here for the last 2 episodes. He's getting a little lazy for my liking. He took a little vacation from the podcast, so we're gonna be acting a little cold to him this episode. I'll be honest. So let's all give him the cold shoulder together. It's Money Mike. Money Mike.
I can't do that.
I didn't even give you a cash register. I can't do it. You gotta have the cash register. I almost didn't do it, and then I felt weird about it. And I was like, no.
The best bit is, he must have felt so weird just being on the side.
You just had to sit on the sidelines. I hold too much power as the
Guys,
the runner of this podcast.
See, before you keep going, I'm literally gonna have to drop out. Have any of you guys seen my Facebook message?
No.
It sounds like there's about 6 people talking, because there's a delay of, like, say 5 or 6 seconds, and then I get the conversation that you just had again.
What?
Yeah. I can't follow anything that you guys are talking about.
Have you got like 27 things open or something?
So hopefully I'll be back again. I'm gonna drop out. I'll come back in a second.
He did it again. He did it again, the son of a bitch. He's let us down again.
Nothing required.
This is what happens. He takes a couple of weeks off the podcast, and he comes by and he's like, I forget how to podcast now.
See, every Wednesday, does he take his entertainment computer system apart and put it back together again?
I think every Wednesday, whenever Mike goes to do the podcast, he just, like, gets a big old, like, 2 liter of milk, and he just, like, I'm just gonna pour this over the entire computer. Ready to podcast, everyone. There's always something that goes wrong.
It's so fun. It's like some sort of setting changes every time. I'm like, what are you crafting back there?
Well, can I just ensure that it's only Mike doing weird shit with his computer and everybody in the comments can hear us okay and we don't sound like, I don't know, some demented thing. I don't know. Oh, is he back?
Oh!
Hey.
Hello?
Is everything working?
Yes, there's only two of you now.
Hey, there we go.
So unbelievably hard to follow.
How would that happen?
It just kept repeating and repeating and repeating, so that was like layers of conversation on top. I don't know what was happening. I just unplugged my audio interface and plugged it back in again.
Did you take anything before the show? Tripping balls right before?
No, just some Pepsi.
Just some Pepsi.
Just some Pepsi.
Pepsi in a mug?
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
I got this mug, and I'm not really a tea drinker, and I had to find a reason to use it because I really like the mug, but yeah.
That's fair. Well, you know what? Mugs keep drinks cool and hot. So, I mean, they should be used more often.
Legit, the first time I don't have a drink, that's how my day's gone. Like, legit, empty.
Oh, no. What's a non-hydrated Nandez gonna be like on the podcast?
We'll fucking find out.
Oh, man. Well, look, this might be a little new to you, Money Mike, because you haven't been here, but yeah, we got a new segment that we like to start with. It's called Quickfire News.
Oh yes, I seen this. I like that.
And I'm probably gonna have to change the music for Quickfire News because we keep getting copyright strike for me stealing some news music from somewhere. But I think if I talk over it enough, they don't know. They don't know. So it's fine. But Quickfire News, look, it does what it says on the banner. It's Quickfire News. It's quick. It's some information for y'all. It is a music and entertainment podcast after all. So, here's your news before we get into the podcast. Oh, are you getting a phone call?
No, I just went on Instagram and I seen.
Have you got breaking news? Andy, our man on the scene.
I seen the Kendrick news.
What Kendrick news?
Baby Keem and Kendrick teased their new collab, Family Ties, and then there was the video of like lyrics backwards whilst he's shooting from a car.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually seen that video, but I know that Baby Keem's album's coming out very soon. He keeps teasing it on Twitter recently.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Oh, baby.
Go.
Yeah, well that was breaking news before we even get into it. That was a breaking news. Straight off the scene from Nantes. Before we even get into it. So let's do Quickfire News. Good evening and welcome to Six Set Bros Quickfire News. It's quick and it fires everywhere, all over the place. And it can get a little messy. We got stories from all across the globe, but mainly just America and the UK, and not really anywhere else. So, let's get into it. So, first off, we got, let's see here. Ed Sheeran, he announced his new album, and guess what? It's another fucking math thing. It's another maths equation. It's not an equation, it's just a symbol. It's called equals. And you know what? Part of me is like, I respect you for the commitment to the math symbols, and part of me is like, you gotta stop. You just gotta stop at a certain point. Because what comes after this? Hypotenuse?
What did he do again? Sorry? He done minus.
He's done.
Divide.
No, I don't think he's done minus yet.
Done minus?
So he's done plus, multiply, divide, and equals. No minus. He left out the minus and went straight to the equals, which is I thought that was a bit odd.
He didn't want to be negative.
Thank you, everybody. That's it. That's it for Six Set Bro. That's
Smoothly done.
That was smooth. That was yeah. Okay. So, finally, after, like, I say finally, I mean, I didn't think that was gonna happen, but after 3 months of Olivia Rodrigo's smash hit, Good For You, being out, they finally gave Hayley Williams and Josh Farrow from Paramore a writing credit, just out of the blue. I mean, they didn't have a writing credit before, but I think everybody knew that it sounded super duper 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 similar to Misery Business, so they just tagged them on there, and they're like, oh, those guys wrote it too.
And it has nothing to do with how much money that generated.
Well, I mean, it probably has a lot to do with that, but then, of course, it's also to do with the fact that if, Hayley Williams or anybody from the Paramore camp decided to, like, take them to court, the proceedings alone would cost a fortune, so it's probably just easier to give them a writing credit and let them earn some royalties from it. Because it's also been confirmed just today, I believe, that it was the #1 most streamed song in the world on Spotify this summer.
I think she has 5. Does she have 5 in the top 20 or something?
Possibly in the top 20, yeah. I know Driver's License is up there. But I think, like, #2 was, like, somebody who won Eurovision or came second in Eurovision or some shit. I don't know. I was like, that's what happens whenever it's a global thing, I suppose. You're gonna get weird stuff like that in there. But, you know, Lil Nas X was on it. SZA and Doja Cat. Songs like that.
And what's weird about that Lil Nas X one is that only came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, I you know what? I never actually checked to see which song it was. I didn't know whether it was...
I think it was the one with Jack Harlow on it.
Industry Baby, yeah. I thought it was maybe Montero, because I assumed that would be played quite a lot. Well, anyway. So, Kanye West, this will not be the last time we talk about him this episode. He's allegedly filed to change his name from Kanye to just Ye. Y-E. It seems legit from some legit sources. He doesn't even want the West. No Kanye West, just Ye. Like Cher or Prince, I guess. So, that's just one piece of Kanye news. There's so much.
I seen 2 things. There was one thing he wrote in 2018. It's like, who or what is Kanye West? With no ego, ? Just Ye. It's like, hey, if you're changing your name and you're moving like you're going to talk about probably, you're doing what you're doing, there's an ego there. So, I don't know what you're on about, 2018 Kanye West.
Nobody knew what 2018 Kanye was.
And then there was another thing where he was explaining what the Ye meant, and he was saying, like, it's you in the Bible, but is that pronounced Ye, or is that Ye?
Ye.
Hey,
Ye,
dude.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's quite a stretch.
What are you doing?
Oh, sorry, I hurt my back stretching there. Which seems stupid anyway, because does Kanye not mean, like, only one or something, or chosen one or something like that? Which seemed like a better meaning.
Yeah, it's kind of a downgrade, isn't it?
So this one means you. See yourself in me, said Kanye. Said Jesus Christ. Okay, last story. If you're a fan of the show Dexter, you know, the one where he kills people because he's a serial killer, his band is coming to Belfast. Hooray! His band is called Princess Goes to the Butterfly Museum, by the way, which is just such a mouthful of a name. But they're gonna play the Ulster Sports Club, I believe, and that's cool. There's a lot of cool bands playing the Ulster Sports Club, but if you want to see Michael C. Hall, you know where to go to. Probably the last place you expected to see him.
I seen that poster at first, and I'm like, hey, that looks like that guy from Dexter. And then I was like, oh, hold on.
I actually listen to them. They're pretty cool. I don't mind them.
What kind of music is it?
Weird. Art deco.
Art or art,
I don't think
rock?
that's a type of music.
Does it lean more to rock or pop?
Yeah, probably more. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's very hard to describe, to be honest. It's been a long time, and let's just say I didn't go back for a lot of repeat listens or anything. But it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. And he is a great singer. Like, whenever he done Lazarus, the David Bowie musical, like, if you ever hear him sing the songs from that, they're really good. So, highly recommend. But that's it for quick fire news. It's quick. That's the point. It's quick as can be.
At the end of that, you should have like a spaghetti western, pew pew, like revolver guns. Pew, pew.
Like this?
No, like quick fire news, like literally like the guns going off.
Oh, I just have this gunslinger music for some reason.
Did we ever used that before? Or
No,
you just
never.
keeping that in there just in
have
case? Just in case there's some sort of showdown.
Yeah,
on the
just in
podcast?
case. Well, speaking of showdowns, our next topic: Kanye versus Drake beef. This seems suitable. I did not intend to use this music, but let's talk about the artist formerly known as Kanye West versus the Sixth God, Drizzy Champagne Poppy Drake. They got beef going, guys. They got a big old piece of beef going, and it's still going now. This makes it so much more intense. It's really not that serious. I love this. I'm gonna keep this playing. Yeah. So look, a quick recap of the Drake Kanye beef without me going back to days of yonder. The most recent stuff you probably need to know is mostly about the whole Kanye. Oh, that music's just gonna play on a loop. That's pretty cool. Let's just keep that going. Yeah. So like, there was a whole thing to do with like Drake was in the studio with Kanye whenever he was releasing his Wyoming album, and apparently he helped him write songs, but then he never gave him a writing credit, and he was meant to be on a song called Lift Yourself, but then Kanye just released a song that went poop scoopity boop, just to pretty much, I don't know, take a shot at Drake for some reason or another. And Ye is very good friends with Pusha T. Pusha T's showed up on a couple of things of Kanye's, so it also seemed like Kanye knew that Drake had a son, which he wasn't really telling the public about, and so the story goes is that Kanye told Pusha, who then had massive beef with Drake, and they had diss tracks that went back and forth that kind of ended with a massive loss by Drake because Pusha T ousted his sort of parenthood that he did not want to come out. So that was like kind of the start of it, I guess, recently. But then since then there's been a couple of lines here and there in songs, nothing too serious, and it seemed like it had all died down. And then Drake dropped a line in a Trippie Redd song. I actually don't have the line in front of me, but it basically said that Ye ain't changing anything for me, it's set in stone. And what he's referring to in that song is that people keep thinking that Drake is gonna move his release date, or he's worried about whenever Kanye's gonna drop Donda, which is his next record, because Kanye's been playing us all with that album release date, so God knows whenever it comes out. But Drake's basically saying there, nah, don't matter. Like, I'm releasing my album whenever I want to release my album because, it doesn't actually affect anything if you release yours, is pretty much what he's saying in that line in the song. And then what happened was, I can't believe how long this Western song is, by the way. It just keeps going. I feel like it would definitely...
That's not a loop. That's actually...
Yeah, I thought it was a loop, but it's not. It just kept going. I was like, definitely get copyright strike for that. Yeah, so after Drake drops this line in that Trippie Redd song, we got a screenshot that Kanye posted to his Instagram and very swiftly deleted, but I think Kanye's not stupid. He kind of knows, like, he can post stuff and take it down within seconds and people still seen it and they'll still talk about it. So, like, it's nuts. It was only up, like, so briefly and then gone again. And it was this chat that seemed to have, like, quite a lot of people in it. I'll bring it up here. So people have been trying to guess at the top what all the letters stand for, like who's who in this. I think there's a good guess that Virgil's in this, which is the guy that makes all the fucking jewelry and shit.
Of white clothes.
Yes, yeah, Off-White is the brand that Virgil's the head of, and there's a line at the start that says about, like, where's my green watch? So there's that line. Didn't Drake have a line in a song recently about,
paddock?
like, yes, yeah, Virgil got the paddock on my wrist, go nuts. So, and he made a thing about, like, him and Virgil have the only ones, because he, like, made custom watches that only Virgil owns and Drake owns. So this kind of seems like Virgil's in the chat, and then Kanye's like, "Hey, where's my watch?" Like, I don't know where that came from, but that seems like the last chat that you can see before it just kind of cuts off, and then you can see the day where Kanye just posted a picture of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker for just to be super ominous. And he added Pusha T to the convo, which it says a lot. And then he wrote afterwards, "I live for this. I've been fucked with by nerd-ass jock N-words like you my whole life. You will never recover, I promise you." So that's threatening. Whatever. So he took it down pretty fast. And then next thing, he posts this to Instagram and takes it down even quicker. That, like, people barely even saw this, but he posted Drake's house to his Instagram. So he, like, posted on, like, maps, like Google Maps or whatever, where Drake lives. The picture that I pulled up has actually blanked it out at the bottom, although it's kind of unnecessary because, like, if you look up Drake's house, like, his address is just clearly there. I mean, I think the dude's got like 24-hour security, giant walls and gates. I don't think it's new information of where Drake lives, but he had this little, screenshot in the middle of Drake's basketball court that's in his house. And he didn't say anything. So it's just kind of like a threat, I guess, through an Instagram post to be like, "Hey, I know where you live." Like, I mean, so does 90% of the world. Kanye is all I'm saying. And you know what the most annoying thing of all is? As much as I could defend Kanye at certain points, could you release a song? If it's gonna be rap beef, could you release a song and not just, like, post a picture and be like, "Ooh," like, at least Drake dropped a line in the song.
Drake literally after that, Drake literally posted a video of him just laughing.
Yeah, on Instagram. So, yeah, he was just driving in the car, just laughing, and he's just like, so dumb.
Yeah,
and Kanye fans are so fucking messed up that I seen them, like, talking on Twitter, and they're like, "Oh, how many takes do you think he went through before he decided on this is the perfect laugh?" And I was like, probably one, because Kanye being so crazy that he's just like, what? What's going on, man? It's not so serious. Oh, Kanye.
That's not the actions of somebody that done the whole story thing of going from hell to purgatory to heaven, is it now?
No, not really. I feel like this is that classic thing of, like, what I don't really understand. It's like, if he's still gonna start, like, aggressive rap beef, but then he's like, "But I released Christian albums. I got Christian albums coming."
Everyone's too old for the games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Look, people have said what they say with all this type of shit. Whether it's a boxing match or rap albums coming out, it's kind of like, people buy into the feud, and it's just like, what is the likelihood that these two guys are just like, even if it's unspoken, it's kind of like, oh, this is great free publicity.
Yeah.
I mean, Kanye done it for years and just be like, let me say something completely outlandish right before I drop a record. And it's like all the news, channels start talking about him. Not for the right reasons, but then he's everywhere. And it's just like, now I got a platform to talk about my music if I want to. Yeah. Nuts. It's a very good idea for free promotion instead of going on some big PR stint for, the sake of it, trying to reach out to publications to be like, "Will you review my record, or will you have me on your show?" I was like, I'll just say something crazy,
Yeah,
and
say
people will be
something
like,
crazy.
Kanye, can we have you?
Bas-
Just
yeah,
like,
so
we need to
basically
talk to you
people
right
say
away.
Kanye said this crazy shit. And also in other news, Kanye is getting ready to release his next album,
Yeah,
sort of thing.
they always
yeah.
do it,
Because it
even-
always gets dropped into the
Yeah.
information.
Like
Yeah.
Kanye West, who is just about to release his next studio record, said that he is a mutant. I couldn't think of anything there. That was off the top of the cranium.
It's
which
he probably
I'm-
has said it. At
I'm
some
actually
stage.
surprised
Just
that he
scroll
hasn't.
through the Twitter. It's probably there somewhere.
He said many things, but I don't know if I'm a mutant is one of them. I should check my quote cards, my Kanye quote cards. It's probably in there. I'm an X-Man. I could see him saying that. I could definitely see him saying I'm an X-Man. I feel like that's definitely a Kanye quote from somewhere. It's the best one was whenever he was like comparing himself to Isaac Newton, Steve Jobs, and the Glitch from Wreck-It Ralph, and I was like, "Whoa, where's the third one coming?"
They're all beside each other in the history books. Didn't you know that?
It's like the Glitch from Wreck-It Ralph. I was like, "Whoa, you got some wild
Threw me
comparisons,
a
my friend."
curveball with that.
That
last
was a
one.
curveball, yeah. He keeps you guessing. He definitely keeps you
Definitely
guessing.
keeps you on your toes.
But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at the minute with the old Kanye Drake beef, I suppose. You know, we'll see what comes next. We're waiting on both records. And the funny thing is, even though Drake dropped that line in the Trippie Redd song to be like, Ye ain't changing shit for me, it's set in stone, as if the date is set in stone, he hasn't said when the record's coming out. So he could just bring it out whenever and be like, this was always the plan. Kanye didn't change shit for me. And maybe he did, and we'll never know. So, kind of a good move, I guess. Yeah, so in other Donda Kanye-related news is there is a third, fourth, whatever you want to call it at this point, listening party. Third public, fourth overall. And it's going to be in Chicago this time. And it's going to be at Soldier Field Stadium. And it seems like Kanye's building his childhood home in the stadium. So...
No ego, by the way.
No ego. Yeah, so if you're watching on the video podcast, you'll be able to see the construction that is underway. Literally building an exact replica of Kanye's childhood home that he grew up, Donda's house, I suppose you could call it. And yeah, it's so it's gonna be something. Quite a lot of people that are close to Kanye who have said that they've seen what this show is gonna be said that like people aren't ready for it. I don't know. I mean, that's just a hype train, I suppose, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and just say that I would like to take a bet right now on this podcast, the streams tomorrow, and I'm gonna put money on that house goes on fire. I'm gonna put money on that it burns. I think it will be some sort of weird cathartic thing that he's letting go of the past or some shit, and the whole house will go on fire or something. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something crazy with the house. I don't know. Anybody else any guesses what's gonna happen with this house? Like, clearly not just gonna sit there, right?
I'm thinking Travis Barker style. The house will rise up on a platform and
So it
go
levitates this
upside
time?
down and go over the top of the audience.
I don't know. I just see it with like a big cross on top and just the whole thing getting lit on
get what you're
fire or
saying.
some shit and burning to the ground.
So this is basically these listening parties are getting closer and closer to what a live tour performance would eventually be. It feels like he's just like live experimenting what the tour is, and then he will go back to the same city that he's just played the listening party in and charge people again.
Well, I seen something where somebody was like, Kanye breaking the mold again whenever he's done the tour before the album came out. It would be like when you turn, yeah, he's like, I already did.
Yeah.
It's just like, you just didn't know it. That's so funny.
I seen a
ahead.
sorry, just a really, really stupid quick thing. I'm pretty sure I scrolled past a meme today that replaced that house with the American football house.
Oh yes, yeah, right, okay. Yeah, if he wants to go super emo, get some American football.
No, like I said last week, all these shows are probably calculating to his overall streams, so he's ahead of the.
You know something that's I seen it right before we went on, so I didn't really get a chance to get like a video up or anything like that. But have you seen this thing that he's releasing, like this streaming device or something to stream the right? I'm trying. I'm going.
Hey, remember? Hold on 2 seconds. Remember when everybody hated U2 for being on their Apple device and they couldn't get them off? I think Kanye might be doing exactly the same thing and having a deal with Apple Music. And also, before we go too far ahead, I think the Sunday service choir comes out of that house.
Oh yeah, they're all inside. Yeah, that'd be beautiful actually. Yeah, so like to go back for a minute, there's actually a video of what do you call him? Big Boy. He does all the interviews with rappers and stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Big Boy. So there was like a video of him a while back where he was in the studio with Kanye, and Kanye's like showing him his I don't know. They were like, "Oh, Kanye's technology next level," and I'm like, "Well, not really, because it was pretty much just like a channel mixer but on a little device." So the idea was that every piece of his, like a track that he was playing him could be isolated. So like you could mute the vocals if you just wanted to hear the beat. You can make the beat drop out if you wanted to. You can add the ad libs in and stuff like that. And what he seems to be doing with Apple Music is that on the streaming device thing that they're giving out for this show. I say giving out, I think you have to buy it. Like it's probably fucking expensive. But you buy this streaming device. This is a little circle, and it kind of looks like, what do you call that game? Bop It or whatever. Yeah. It's like where you press different things, but I think it has like 4 different options, and it's like during the stream, even though it's a live stream, I think you can make the beat cut out if you want to just hear the vocals. You can make the vocals cut out if you just want to hear the instrumental. You can make the backup vocals come in and out and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know why you would want to do that. On the surface, I'm like, hey, that's cool, but also I'm not gonna pay for that, and also I can't be bothered doing it. I'm just gonna I just want to see it.
I get why he's doing that, because some of his fans are so fanatic that they feel, or not even just his fans, people going to see the show, this makes them feel part of the album, I guess, with everything that's going on.
He did say, like,
and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't really know to what extent, but he said that this one was gonna be like highly crowd interactive. Like, I don't really know how. Are they gonna have a rehearsal beforehand? Because I think people have done that before, where they have like a crowd rehearsal, so that whenever they actually live stream the event, the crowd kind of knows what they need to do, like what things to sing back and stuff like that. I don't know.
If you think interactive, I don't think this is that interactive, but Taylor Swift had concerts with armbands that changed according to the song, and it had some sort of participation thing when the people put their hands up.
That's right.
So, look at me knowing Taylor Swift news.
Goodbye.
I think that'll make people feel connected to the album, I guess. I also think that isn't his house. This has just come to me. That obviously isn't his house, and he's gonna rebuild the house from where he got it and sell it for way more than it should be sold for.
Probably. Although, no, is the thing not that so that house is still there, like his original childhood home still exists, and I think the thing was that I'm pulling dates kind of out of the air. Any Kanye fans are gonna correct me, like, but I'm pretty sure it said something like Donda lived there from like 1990 something or 1980 something till 2004. But then Kanye bought the house back for her, like in the 2010s sort of time. Well, not, I know, she'd passed away before that. Maybe 2006. There's definitely an interview where him and his mom are sitting on the stoop of the house, and it's because he bought it back for her. Because I seen that. Like, he bought it because he didn't want anyone else to have it or knock it down. So I think he still owns it, as far as I'm aware. I don't think what he's building in the stadium is literally his house, although that would be crazy if it was, but I don't think he actually like took it apart bit by bit. It's just a replica. But yeah, as far as I know, Kanye still owns his childhood home, I think, anyways. Who knows? Maybe him and Kim will reunite.
Oh my god, he goes in the house.
Yes, she comes out with them.
There, and they both walk out with the Sunday service.
It was all part of the plan, babies. It was all part of the we got it. And then the house goes on fire, right? This is why I can't be part of Kanye's team. It's like, and then we put the house on fire, right? Yeah. And then we put it on fire.
That guy doesn't need to be amped up anymore. You just make things worse.
Kanye's like, all I want on stage is a mattress. I was like, and we set it on fire at the end. Who hired the pyrotechnic guy? Just loves having an excuse to have a job here.
He's never had or he hasn't had features come on stage, like acts with him.
No, and that would be really cool to see, but it's Kanye, so they're not gonna be there. I highly doubt that they will, because it's all about him. It's all about him. I can't see him having people there. I doubt it. It would be awesome if he did. Imagine if Jay-Z. Everybody is in the house. Everybody keeps coming out of the house. That would be fucking cool, actually.
Just the
like, as in, it could be
team.
Turn into like a Talking Heads gig or something.
I'm just thinking that it could be like, you know, below the stadium, the way they have the little secret passageway thing, and it's like maybe people keep coming out of the house, and you're like, how many people are in there? By the end of the show, you've got like a stadium full of like Jay-Z, fucking Travis Scott, Baby Keem. Everyone's
Do you know what it's
there.
like? It's gonna be Pink Floyd's "Brick in a Wall," where as the concert's going on, they're building the wall behind it, and then when it reaches a certain song, bricks start falling off, and then they bash through it, and then all that, and it's a different setup.
Yeah. That could work, actually. I don't know. I just need to see him.
They're gonna build the house during the show. Then the end. That's when something's gonna happen.
It's already built.
Yeah, but that's probably them going, right, how are we gonna get this up quick?
It's just a test.
It's a test build.
It's just a test. I don't know, but it sure looks awfully flammable to me. I'm really sticking with that idea, and I wonder will any boogies take that bet. It's quite a weird bet.
The house is going to blow up, set on fire. There's going to be a trapdoor like the Masked Magician, and once all the flames calm down, Kanye rises from the ashes. Fucking get me a job.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying, is like, what if he goes into the house, and then the house goes on fire, and everybody's like, oh shit, Kanye! But then he goes into the secret fucking trapdoor of the stadium, so everyone's like, oh shit, Kanye's dead, he burned up in the fire, but then he didn't,
and then he lowers from the roof. He's done miracles on me.
He's done miracles on me. Oh god. Oh, beautiful. I don't know, I'm all for it. I really want to watch it, but I don't have Apple Music, so I'll probably just...
And he sells the ashes for like...
Yes.
$300 a pinch.
Sure. That's, I mean, is somebody not selling apparently...
A bag of air?
No, wait, I wasn't even going to say the bag of air, but the bag of air is fucking ridiculous. But no, I think somebody said it was like the Donda vest, like the bulletproof vest. And I was just it said that Kanye wore it during the performance. Like, well, how does someone have this to sell? Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe that. Plus, he was selling the bulletproof vest as merch.
Yeah.
Well, he already was. So I'm like, you just like, what, take that home from the show and be like, Kanye wore this. Pay me $5 million. Judging. That's probably enough Kanye for now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, until tomorrow, because that's when the live stream is.
They said like the release was like the 6th or something.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, no. I'm pretty sure.
Was it the 20?
Yeah, it's so.
8th.
It was the other thing I meant to talk about with this is, although take it with a big old pinch of salt, the album's meant to come out Friday, finally, and so many people have said that this is a definite 100%, no question about it, it's definitely coming out after midnight, after the listening party this time.
Because they were messaging...
It was like his manager,
producer?
the record label, the producer, Mike Dean.
But also Mike Dean's known as a wind-up merchant.
Well, he very much is, yeah. But like Black Mass said that it's gonna definitely come out, and a lot of people who didn't really promise anything before are starting to say that, like, oh no, he's handed it in, like, to the label. Everyone has the final mixes. He ain't touching it again. Plus, the thing that I would say is, like, we've seen him in LA a lot. So, like, he was staying that whole time in Atlanta in the stadium. And then after he left there, he was in, like,
until they
LA.
kicked them out because the football season starts.
Well, I know he's just like, fuck off, Kanye. Except there was that one video. Didn't I send you guys that video of there was somebody in the rafters at like a stadium? And
Sting?
then they were like, is it Sting from WCW or is that Kanye approaching a new stadium? It's just like some guy hanging up in the rafters in the roof, and I'm just like,
So good.
if I ever go to a stadium show of anything now, I'm going to be looking up constantly, looking Kanye to do some sort of Phantom of the Opera shit. He's got like half a mask on. And it's just
like in the middle of a baseball game or something. The commentator's going, Rodriguez up to the plate. There's a guy from the rafters swinging a miss.
Oh my god, Jim. Oh my god.
That killed him. It'd be like, his next album's gonna sound shit. He's recording it on a laptop up in the roof of a stadium in the rafters, and it's just like loads of wind.
He's like that wee homeless lady from Home
Alone 2. Yeah.
Just living up in the opera house.
Jesus Christ. Watching other musicians below him. I used to be a musician. And then
Now I just feed my pigeons.
And now I just make albums in the rafters and then do listening parties for albums that aren't out yet. Because, you know, Kanye. Sorry. Yay. He hasn't officially changed his name yet, so I don't think I can get in trouble right now. But I feel like he definitely needs to do a Prince thing and call himself the artist formerly known as Kanye West. Just start going by Ye. Yeah, that was a weird thing. We'll see if it actually happens, but apparently he has filed the papers to change his name. So,
probably. I mean, he can afford it, so.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's that expensive to change your name. But...
I actually don't know. Always thought about it.
What would your name be? Would you change it to Don Maple?
Don Maple. How fucking cool would that be? Donald Maple.
Donald Maple. I don't know what.
That's the part I forgot to do. I was like, what do I do? The quickfire news thing? I forgot that I gave us all news anchor names. Damn it.
I don't know.
I haven't got one for Mike yet. I'll come up with something.
What would your name James be, Mike?
I don't know.
I want something like really cool, like
Laser or Blazer.
Blazer.
No, like
Laser.
Like I don't know, some sort of Felix Trent or something.
Felix Trent.
No, some like.
Sounds really
Yeah,
weird.
I know what you're going for. Like a what was that?
Some, like,
what was
epic
Nicolas
name.
Cage's name in Face Off?
Oh.
Castor Troy, or is that from somewhere else?
No, you're right. It's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like an action
Just like
evil
an
bad
epic
guy
name.
name or something. Yeah.
Screw that. I'm gonna change my name to Nicolas Cage. Nicolas B. Cage. It'll be like a Michael B. Jordan situation.
And then you just end up in all the Nicolas Cage news and stuff, and then it kind of hypes up your profile and everything as well. Yeah.
Or it doesn't. Am I a genius? Or am I crazy?
Here, people are saying that he's in some action movie with a pig or something now, and they're saying it's his best work in years.
But
Was
I
he not
also
in
think
that?
that's
Sorry,
a
go ahead.
troll.
Yeah,
also
well,
think that's a troll.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems like a
so do
troll.
I. Like, but I'm still. It has piqued my interest to watch a movie with Nicolas Cage.
I think he was in that live version of like what's that game Five Nights at Freddy's. Like it was
Yeah.
basically that
Oh,
same
really?
premise. Yeah, so it's like
dear.
he goes into a Chuck E. Cheese type, amusement restaurant thing, and all the animatronic animals come to life and try to kill the people there. But he's like a badass, like Evil Dead type shit, killing them all.
That whole setup is terrifying to me. That those animatronic animals. Are,
Yeah, I mean
There's not
that's
many
why.
things that kind of creep me out. And that is one of them.
This is what happens when you're Nicolas Cage and you buy castles and dinosaur bones. You have to make any.
You just have to do random shit all the time. That's what like I say my favorite Community episode. It wasn't even that the episode was good. I just love the concept that they have a class at the community college for Nicolas Cage, and they're like genius or crazy. It's just like a sort of a thing of like, is he actually
studying,
so good?
Yeah.
That we're like, oh my god, he's really absorbed the character, or is he just permanently nuts? Like, maybe you can't really tell. He like goes from 0 to 100 in every scene of every movie. It's like he can start off really casual and then start screaming at you.
He's not really playing a character, like, is he? He just goes in, as you say, and at some point he just finds a moment to scream pretty much every time.
That's why Abed does that thing where he starts turning into Nicolas Cage and he gets up on the desk and he's like, I'm a cat, I'm a crazy cat. Like, that's pretty much Nick Cage, I suppose.
He's kept alive by the memes.
He is kept alive by the memes.
Meme culture keeps him alive.
Kind of like Keanu Reeves now, even though that he wasn't before, because he's such a cool dude, Keanu Reeves, but I feel like he memed his way into even bigger stardom somehow. It's I don't know, people just started memeing him like crazy a couple of years ago, and it's like now they all just love him so much.
That Cyberpunk game done way more for Keanu Reeves' career than it did for
anyone
the company
else,
that made the game.
It was like it was like
the company's going under.
It was like that and John Wick, just like
pretty much.
shut up.
Although saying that, I still refuse to watch John Wick because if they're gonna kill a puppy, I can't watch it. I just can't.
That's the motivation for the movie.
I get that it is, but there is a website called doesthedogdie.com, and it's movies where there's animals in it, and you can check to see if the dog dies before you watch
you're
it.
sheltering yourself too much, dude.
You know what? I'm too emotional now, dude. I'm too emotional. It's like the
hate
same.
it when animals die as well, but I mean,
I get that. You know what?
Well, I know it didn't really die for the sake of the movie or anything. Like, it's not like Keanu Reeves shot the dog in the head or something. It's like we had to do this for the good of the movie. It was like a fucking method actor.
See, even 10 years ago, like, the animals always died. There's definitely been a transition in movies lately, because I think like everybody is like super dog lovers now. But see, if you watch old movies all the time, it's so much.
Doesn't he die in Turner and spoiler alert? Although it's in the 90s, whatever. But
Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch doesn't the dog die in that?
Oh, I actually don't know. I can't remember. It's been that long. I like to imagine that it didn't. I like to imagine that.
K9, I think the dog died.
That's
You played Last of Us 2.
Yeah, I know. I knew it was gonna happen though. I knew for so long it was gonna happen, and I was just like, I just seen it coming. I was like, no, I can't get attached here. It's like you know what, games? Stop being like, here is your horse. It will be your faithful companion for this entire journey. I'm like, fuck off. Why don't you give it a name and take care of it and build up its stats throughout the entirety of the game? It's like, you know what? I'll walk everywhere. I don't know. I'm not getting attached to the horse because you're just going to kill it. Like, that's what they've been doing that since Shadow of the Colossus, although it was fine in the end.
Or just give you like an animal that nobody cares about but still has feelings, like spiders and fish and stuff.
Here's your fish companion.
Dead. No one cares about you, fish.
This is your goldfish. It will be navigating you throughout this journey. It's like, okay, can take it or leave it. You gotta flush it down the toilet at the end. What an emotional attachment I've gained.
Emotional scene.
Yeah.
Just the bad guy hanging the fish over the toilet, and he just drops it, and it's like, no. And then everything goes silent for like 2 seconds, and you just hear like a.
Yeah, I don't know. Games need to stop doing that shit though. Yeah, stop it. Why did I start talking about this? I don't know. I'm way off.
Kill humans.
We were talking
instead.
about Nicolas Cage's pig movie, and then somehow we got on to.
Which,
by the way,
what?
Yeah, you're saying.
Where are we? What is going on?
Don't
I'm lost.
Yeah.
I need that. Where's the little? There it is. The little tiny spanner that I keep to put the wheels back.
Mike had a by the way. What was the by the way?
Oh, what is the by the way?
Hang on a by the way.
He's forgotten.
Yeah, I have. You can tell in my face like immediately.
Oh.
No.
Something about Nicolas Cage,
gone.
and he went, by the way, and it's like, nah,
It's gone.
By the way, no. It clearly wasn't that important then.
No.
Well, I like that.
It'll maybe come to me, and then I'll interrupt again, and the wheels will once again fall off.
Yeah.
Say
Well,
20 minutes
usually
or so.
at this point in the show, whenever the wheels completely come off because we've all been talking together as three friends, and then we forget that we're actually on a live stream, I usually go to the commercial break. So we'll go to the commercial break, we'll come back, and then we'll remember that we're on a podcast.
This is a podcast, though. This
I
is
mean,
how
it's
podcasts work
pretty
nowadays.
much what a podcast is.
Structure. I don't like rules. I don't like structure.
I know. Look, I think I said to you guys from the start, you know, the one thing I didn't want this podcast to be is one time I seen a guy that I knew, like, not well or anything, but I think he was on, I don't know, he's a Facebook friend. And he was like, I'm starting a podcast. And then the first episode I got special guest, James Smith or whatever. And then it was just not Cameron. If it was, I would have been like, good job, guy.
He's doing all right. Yeah, good first
doing
guess.
okay.
Strong start.
But then it was just his strong start. First episode 1, James Cameron is my guest.
And then episode 2, my friend John.
Yeah.
He just has James's. He has like James McAvoy next.
I would watch that. I would watch the podcast where it's just all my next guest, James. And then he has to keep finding Jameses. Some of them super famous. Some of them are just
James.
guys that he knows. Okay, I'm off.
And then
again.
he gets somebody dyslexic and goes, "Here's James' addiction."
Oh, Andrew, that's not okay. So fresh. Now in spearmint. And
I need red lights.
oh, red lights. No, so this guy had a podcast, and he was like, he had his friend on for an episode, and he acted as if his friend is like a special guest, and I was like, that's not a special guest, that's just your buddy. And then they were talking about like their driving test, and I'm like, this is maybe the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, I don't want this show to be that. I want to be like, yeah, so I was doing my driving test, and I was driving, and I was like, oh, it's fucking crazy, man. That's not a podcast! It's not a podcast!
Was it not? You know the way
There's
sometimes...
no content!
Do you know the way sometimes things can be boring enough to be entertaining? Was it?
No.
No, it was just plain
Unfortunately
boring.
not.
Yeah.
That I know.
Unless that conversation ends in a Dukes of Hazzard off the ramp. I don't want to hear it.
I was doing my driving test, you know, I was with the AA, and we were just going, we went up the Lockeries route, as you do, and we were going down, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, holy fuck, didn't see that one coming, big truck out of nowhere, so I skidded to the side, and then I done a barrel roll over it, like, then I'm interested,
Yeah.
then I'm listening, you got me.
Nearly ran over James Cameron in the middle of the road. Or
James
something.
Cameron was there. He's fucking filming Avatar 36. Yeah, we're gonna do commercials before everyone leaves. What the hell was that? Was that your squeaky microphone stand?
Too many episodes, you
Needs a bit
say?
of oil.
Too many episodes of the wear and tear. Which is why we should recommend everybody goes to our website and buys our merch so that we can give Andrew 60 pence
microphone
to
stand
get
oil.
some oil for his mic. No, we're not going to a new stand, Michael. You think we're made
of
of
course not exactly.
Just the oil.
money? Money, Michael? Yeah, we just need a little bit of oil. If you guys could go and buy a shirt, we might make a small enough percentage from the t-shirt to get Andy oil so we don't have a squeak in his mic stand. All right, here's some commercials.
Hey there, fresh-faced creative in a youthful advertising demographic. Does your reading material have a distinct lack of cultural nourishment for your slowly decaying, malnourished soul? Stop! Put that garbage down. Everyone knows you shouldn't get your news from old mediums like paper. That's 8th century. Plug into the information superhighway, loser, and read a zine. It's like a magazine, but without all that dumbass paper. Read Stranger Days, the arts and culture e-zine. It's got music, comedy, art, poetry, tarot cards, cinema, Spaceship, comics, podcasts, and Tim Carey. Read Stranger Days now, because between you, me, and your trusty canine companion, we know fluffy cuddles and easings are the only way to push back the existential dread slowly consuming your every waking moment. Hold back the darkness today with Stranger Days. Available now at strangerdays.wordpress.com.
If you want to wrap your ears around all the music we've been talking about on the podcast, we run a special playlist over on Spotify. It's called Distant Sound Waves. Here over at Six Set Bro, we always thought, well, what's the gosh darn point of doing a music podcast if you can't let people hear any music? There is a whole lot of legal mumbo jumbo and copyright issues that prevent us from actually doing that on the pod. So we thought that was a pretty good compromise. We make a playlist and it gets updated every single month. On the playlist, we have things like all the new singles from local homegrown talent that we've talked about. Maybe some of the bigger artists that we've had conversations about, we'll put those guys on there. Or maybe it's just something new that we stumbled across and we've been talking about on the podcast. It is all there. You can find Distant Sound Waves by searching for it on Spotify, or you can find the links all over our social medias. You know what? Welcome back to the show. I was going to play a third commercial, because the other two guys are still gone, because they're old and their bladders aren't good. But I thought I'd just come back, and I will try and encourage you to support the Year Spaceship Music Collective. Support us, guys, and the way you can do that, the easiest way, the freest way, is just to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching the show and you haven't subscribed, why the heck not? You know, it's not much to do. You just click a little button. It'll take you like 3 seconds to get in there, and you hit subscribe, and it makes me feel good about myself. You can also hit the little bell, and it alerts you whenever we go live or a new video goes up, which I don't know if you noticed, but we've been making more videos recently. We did one recently about Kendrick Lamar and the fact that he's come about with a new record. We did one about the NI Music Prize and all of our favorite acts from that. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, and it'll make us happy. You can also visit www.yourspaceship.com, where you can find info about us, the music that we sell, and you can go to merch and you can buy like shirts and stuff. Which is pretty cool. We get a very small cut of that because we just go through Redbubble, but the quality is really good, and it's cool whenever people are just like wearing our merch around. And we now have hats. Ooh. That's news that I don't even think I've told you guys on the show. We have hats now.
Everybody knows we all like a good hat.
Oh, we love hats on this show. Clearly, all three of us are wearing hats right now. Unless Andy comes back from the toilet with no hat. I don't even think he's at the toilet. I bet he is making himself a cup of coffee. I'm going to put money on that.
Needs to get himself hydrated.
And that the cup of coffee goes up higher! Oh, there he is. He's back. Guess who's back?
Well, didn't I read something funny whilst I was getting a drink?
What? What happened? Have you got news?
Breaking news again?
So, this is from...
Joining us now again, Quickfire News Part 2. It's me, Donald Maple, joined by Andrew Fernandez, Diego Martinez, and Mike.
Sorry,
I haven't got a name for him yet. Ledgerwood. And... okay, tell me what it is.
So, this is from Barstool Sports. Shout out Dave Portnoy, if he'll ever hear this.
Prezi.
The baby on the cover of the Nirvana album, Nevermind, is suing the estate.
Yeah, I seen that.
For sexual exploitation of a minor.
Which is quite weird because he's been like... Look, I don't really know the guy, and I feel like people could very quickly
know
like...
the guy. That's
yeah, I know. People could hit out of this very quick, but he's also been kind of flaunting that status for a long time because it's like, oh, what does the baby from the Nevermind cover look like now? And it's like a guy who's like, hey, I was on the Nevermind cover. And then all of a sudden he's like...
he has like a
I can make money.
tattoo and all as well.
Yeah. He was like all for it. And then he's like, oh shit, I make money. That was a nice hot scoop from Andrew Fernandez, Diego Martinez. He's our.
You know, my real name actually sounds like a news reporter.
Well, I was gonna say we should just use your full name, Andrew Fernando de Jesus. What are you, Fernando? Andrew de Jesus? No.
There is a Pedro in there.
Yes, Andrew Pedro de Jesus. Or De Jesus, I don't know how you pronounce that. Fernandez.
González Morales.
You must know my good friend Alejandro Majandro. I don't know. I can't do it anymore. Used to be pretty good at that. I'm gonna have to relearn it. Yeah.
They call me El Capitan.
El Capitan. Oh fuck. Let's not get steered on the Rush Hour 2 train, or else you'll be
What was the boat called?
The Red Dragon. Yeah. The boat is called the Red Dragon, but he says it's called something. What does he say it's called? Fuck. The SS Minnow. The SS Minnow Johnson. That's funny, because the name on the back said the Red Dragon. Oh, you know what? I must have got on the wrong yacht. Don't all yachts look alike? I could go on. Maybe I'll do a podcast one day where I just do all the dialogue from Rush Hour 2. Oh, God, right. What's next on the agenda, boys? Kendrick new album. I already made a little video about this, so we'll not get in too deep. You can check it out. It's on the channel. But Kendrick Lamar returned to social media to put a post up and be like, visit this website called oklama.com. And on that website, he had a little excerpt where he kind of very poetically explained that he has been away from music and people for quite a long time, and he has came to the decision to follow his life's calling, whatever that may be, and this will be his final album with Top Dog Entertainment, which is the record label that is so synonymous with Kendrick Lamar, which is, I mean, it's huge news. It's just huge. I mean, I remember seeing like a video not that long ago about, like, you know, is TDE a dying label? Which I never would have said that before, but now I'll be honest, it's kind of worrying despite the amount of successful people on there, but it's like they don't have a massive roster, and Kendrick was always like the main pull. They have SZA, they have J-Rock and Isaiah Rashad and whatever, but I don't know, it's kind of crazy that Kendrick's leaving. He was like there from day one, and yeah, it's nuts. Now, he said it's his final album with TDE. It doesn't mean it's his final album ever. I mean, I really doubt that that's going to be the case, and I do think that he'll probably release music through PG Lang, would be my guess, which is his company that he started with Dave Free. Baby Keem is on there, who Andy mentioned earlier, who is his cousin, and yeah, they're releasing music together. There's already a song that leaked on YouTube that you can look up.
I think there's a video coming on Friday.
There will be a video coming out for a new song, like, but there was definitely a video that leaked for a while, and it was really good, despite it being a leak. But Kendrick and Baby Keem, amazing. There's actually a video Baby Keem put up not that long ago, and yeah, he said Family Ties, which is obviously the name of the song, but the picture that he used was like him and Kendrick whenever they were really young in a big family photo, and it was like the Good Kid, Mad City cover. You know, not the one with the car, but the one where they blacked out the eyes of all the family members.
And it's just him with a non-blacked... He's got the T-shirt on.
Yeah, so they did a photo like that, but it's like they blacked out all the family members except for Keem and Kendrick. So it's so weird to see both of them in the same family photo because they're cousins. But which, thinking back now, I'm pretty sure in the video I made about this, I said Baby Keem was his nephew. So...
I mean,
ignore that, because that's wrong. It's his cousin. It's weird, because I feel like I did know, but I feel like I automatically said nephew. I don't really know why, just because he's older, I guess, but it's his cousin, okay? So yeah, shout at me in the comments if you want, but it's fine.
TDE have also signed a new guy called Ray Vaughn.
I did see
He
that.
put out 3 songs. I haven't heard the 3 songs because they literally came out about an hour ago.
I know, and they were like, "We gotta fill the Kendrick gap quickly. Get somebody else in there."
No, see, I have to disagree. I think mainstream feels like that. I doubt TDE's still going to be good.
TDE is so different, man, and they you know, it's what I said to you before. It's like I feel to some degree there has to be a reason why Kendrick would leave. I don't think
Maybe
it would
to
be
give
any.
them more shine.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it would ever be any sort of like disagreement or anything like that. I really can't see it, but there could be the implication of maybe they do have like, you know, an expected record rotation. Like we talked about that in the show before. Is they kind of always moved in the same rotation as like, you know, Kendrick releases an album, then J-Rock releases an album, then this person, and then that person. But it's like Kendrick is just one of those like unique artists where I feel like the guy could potentially go away for like 10 years if that's how long it takes him to make a record, or he could make one within 6 months. It just depends what he feels ready to do.
He could be the Lauryn Hill. But the difference is I think all of this just stems from the pandemic, and I think things have just hit different. I think if the pandemic doesn't happen, this doesn't happen. So it's probably something to do with that too.
Potentially. I mean, maybe he wouldn't have started PG Lang if it wasn't for the pandemic. I don't know. But, I mean, Kendrick's just, like, it's such a rare thing to get with celebrity in this day and age where it's, like, you know, he definitely dislikes the fame, which I know some people do, but he manages to keep a lot under wraps, you know, like, I know his wife is called Whitney. He mentions her once in a song, like, once ever. He's written songs about her, like that song off Damn Love was very much about Whitney. But yeah, I think it was on Complexion on To Pimp a Butterfly. He says, he mentions her by name and says Whit told him to love the women for women or something like that. I don't know. But he actually used her name. But he never talks about her, and they don't really go too many places together, and they have a kid together, and nobody knows what the kid's name is. Like, I mean, I don't care about shit like that. Like that, you know, I couldn't care less. It's like, it's his business, but I'm like, it's quite impressive to keep stuff like that under the wraps in 2021. It's pretty hard to do. So you can tell how much he values his privacy. And I think he likes to just go away and work on the stuff he wants to do and spend time with his family. And then if he wants to bring something out and he's got something to say, then he'll do that. So maybe he just doesn't want to be tied to a label. Maybe he wants to be his own boss to a degree, you know, where it's like, if I want to do something, I'll do it. If not, then whatever. I don't know. I can see it very much being that. But yeah, you should go watch the video I released about it. Sort of explained everything and how it came about and what I think about it, and yeah, it's a video on the channel.
Also, just to put a bit of a, he probably just doesn't want to do it anymore. I'm guilty of this, or was guilty of this. I'm trying not to do it now, but this pedestal that we put artists on,
yeah,
I just don't think it's right. It's like,
it's so much pressure,
and it's like,
yeah,
he probably just doesn't want to do it. You know, it's
I get that.
No.
It's kind of it's maybe kind of like a case of like drawing a line under this next album comes out, and hopefully then it's gonna live up to the last 2 albums and stuff, and it's kind of just drawing a line under that. It's like, I put out like some of the greatest albums ever. I'm gonna take my time to do other stuff because I'm probably absolutely minted right now. And as you say, like, if in 10 years time he wants to drop another album, that's fine, and people will be ready for it, obviously, but there won't be probably that direct comparison to the other stuff, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it kind of maybe will create a bit of a buffer in between, but I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see what he does. I mean, he said in his in the thing that he posted about, like, you know, there's beauty in the unknown or something like that. So it was kind of like, I don't think he's just saying that he wants to keep us guessing, but sort of being like, he doesn't 100% have a plan for what he's going to do in the future, but that's, you know, that's the beauty of it. Which is what loads of people have said. I think Stephen King said something similar about, like, you know, the unsolved mystery is the one that keeps our attention the longest, you know, and that's true. As, like, the people that you're like, oh, when's it coming? Like, it's the same as the Kanye West record or the next Kendrick record. It's like the actual anticipation for it is probably better than the actual thing when it comes out. Because there's so many questions and speculation, and people just love to guess what's coming, and yeah, it's all part of it.
Do you know what's crazy about that class of artists? Drake, Kendrick. Do you know who everyone's already forgot about?
Yeah.
J. Cole.
Oh yeah.
I haven't forgot about him, but I don't hear him.
Yeah, I know.
And
I know.
he's probably got one of the albums of the year.
Yeah. It was a great record, like, but yeah, I don't know. I've always went that way with J. Cole, though. I don't know. Like, if I'm honest, for this year so far, like, you know, we don't do this until New Year's, like, but so far my record of the year is Tyler, because I haven't stopped playing Tyler. Like, it's been on, like, repeat in my car, like, I swear. Like, I just can't stop listening to it. I didn't think it would get to that level, but yeah, it's my favorite thing so far this year.
So just to confirm, are we doing album and song?
Well, I don't know, but maybe not necessarily the song of the year, like, is from that album, but I definitely listen to it on repeat.
Oh no, I'm talking about just us three. At the end of the year, are we doing album?
Oh yeah.
And song?
I think we should do album of the year and song of the year for a New Year's-esque episode. I like to do the special New Year's episode.
Compare our thoughts of what we think is our album and song of the year against our Spotify Wrapped. Let's see if they match up.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to sort out your Spotify Wrapped, you better get on that pretty quick, because it tends to come around in the next couple of months.
What we could actually do is say what we think our album of the year and our song of the year is, and live reveal our Spotify Wrapped to see what actually comes up.
No, I can't do mine, because it'll come up Don Maple. It's like, oh, he was trying to rack up all them streams. Trying to get all them streams, baby. No, I would say at this moment in time it would have to be Tyler. I can't see it being anything else. I've listened to it so much. If it's not, then Spotify is broken. I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely my album of the year so far. And I like J. Cole's record, but I just didn't go back for that many repeat listens. But that has been the story of my life with J. Cole. Is like, I get excited for something and I listen to it like a couple of times and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
He's the
I don't know
most. He is the Keanu Reeves of music.
I know.
He cycles to the chip shop in New York. He's standing out there.
I know. He's so woke. He's so down to earth and such a cool guy. And I love, like, his music so much, but for some reason he just doesn't keep my attention with an album for whatever reason. I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on to the NI Music Prize. Just reminding everybody that eligible list is still out there, and I think we're getting very close to the next list being announced. They're gonna weed some of the eligible people out and make it a long list, and that's always fun. But you should definitely go on there and share some of your favorite artists while you still have a chance. Maybe change some decisions, Don Mabel, and you know, not saying choose whoever you want, Don Mabel, but yeah, you still have a chance to change some people's minds. But you know what I did want to bring up? I've been saving this, Mike, for you. I've been saving this until you're on the show. I need to bring it up because I'm gonna forget the names. So I was in such a weird situation. So I was listening through the playlist for the NI Music Prize, and I listened, I kid you not, to every fucking song on there. And it was a lot of work, I'll be honest, but I listened to every fucking song. I shouldn't swear because, like, maybe we clip this. I listened to every freaking song, and I was like, I've got my top pick, my favorite song from the whole thing. I love this song so much. This is so cool. How have I never heard of this guy? It's a song called Picasso by a guy called Alan Ward. And I was like, this song is so cool. It was a hip-hop song. I was like, how have I never heard of this guy? So then I like try and look into him. I like immediately follow him on Spotify. And then I'm like, how is he from Northern Ireland? Like, I don't see anything that relates him to this country, but you know, whatever. Look, I'm from Toronto and I promote that quite a lot on my page, but like, I live here now. I've lived here for a very long time, very involved in the music scene. But yeah, I was like, I can't find anything. He seems to be from Wisconsin, I think. He supports the Milwaukee Bucks. And then I go on his Twitter and I'm like, he played a show in Chicago like a couple weeks ago. And like, I don't see anywhere that he's ever been to Northern Ireland or Belfast or anywhere. I was like, I don't think this guy should be on the list. I don't know how he ended up here. I don't think that's right. So I don't know if this ever got resolved, but I did, like, not in a, I feel like I was just being like a big old tattletale or something, but I kind of asked the question to somebody that I knew might be involved in the list a little bit. And I just raised the question because I was like, genuinely, I'm not even trying to be annoying, but he was my favorite. It was my favorite pick of the whole NI Music Prize, and I fear that he's not from NI. So they looked into it, and he's still on the list at the minute as far as I can see. And it would probably be unlikely if you're not from this country to ever gain enough traction to go any further in the awards, but it seems like he slipped through somehow. I don't really know what happened there, but you know, his song is dope. His song is rad. You should check out Alan Ward with the song Picasso. It's really fucking cool, and you know what? It's pretty ballsy to just like enter a music prize that's you know, completely for people from Northern Ireland, being like, I'm getting in on that. It's just, are you from this country? Yep.
I do love this story.
Yeah. Yeah, and his songs are actually really good though, and I was really into them. Yeah,
he's gonna hit it big, and we can claim that he's from here when he wins the NI Music Prize. He's from our hometown.
Look, all I'm saying is, if it comes down to a decision of Alan Ward or Don Maple, you're kind of like, well, Alan Ward is not from this country, so no, not him. But you know what? His song is rad, and you should listen to it. Like, it was gonna be my top pick. It was gonna be my favorite song from the whole thing, and I'm like, it can't be. You're not from here, so that kind of wrecked that. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Detective Maple at it again. I wish I had a magnifying glass. That was James Bond.
Use the screwdriver or the fucking...
The spanner? I don't know why I did James Bond music, because I suppose he is a spy, but... Just looks like I'm adjusting my eye with the spanner. Yeah, so that was a fun little story. But NI Music Prize, go on now. You can still, like, stream and share your favorite songs and albums, and, yeah, might convince that committee to push old Don Maple to the next round. You never know. You never know. Oh!
Wait, that was Mike's take?
Hmm?
That was Mike's take on the subject? He was like, I seen this, and that was it.
What?
Didn't you ask for Mike's? Yeah. Didn't you ask for Mike's take on the situation?
What is your take?
I thought it was great. Like fair play to him. It's yeah.
Did I say that?
You were like,
I'm clearly so tired right now.
I missed that too.
Clearly, I didn't say it, and Andy's the tired one. I don't think we both missed it.
No, my take is give that guy the award
now. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to see him. You know what?
Like, let's create a new category. Create a new category. Best infiltrator of the NI Music Prize.
Boldest act. Yeah, cool.
It could still turn out that he has some sort of link to here. Maybe he moved over to, where did you say he's from?
Wisconsin, I think.
Wisconsin, and he used to live up in like East Belfast somewhere or something like that. He's just out
I
in
couldn't see
Wisconsin
any
now.
evidence that he was ever in the north of Ireland. Like, ever. I don't think he's been outside of America by the looks of things. I don't know. I was like, dude makes cool music, but I don't think he's from here. So then my second
Pictures of,
favorite
like,
had to be...
fry-ups or anything on his Twitter or his Instagrams?
No.
Or,
It was mostly just basketball stuff about the Milwaukee Bucks because they won the championship. I was like, yeah, I don't think you're from here. And then, so I had to move my second place top pick into first place, and that was Del Maple with Rainbow Road. No, I was just being annoying. No, you've still got time to go and check out the Distant Sound Waves playlist that you can find on Spotify, and that's got our top picks for the NI Music Prize. The songs that we love, we made a video about it. It's on the channel. Go and check it out. And I talked through every single song that we put on there.
Do you have any picks, Mike, from the list?
Go for it.
Dude, I've been off for 2 weeks. I would have to go through the list again to remind myself of everything that's on it. I did have picks whenever we scrolled through.
I will tell you. I will give everyone a quick rundown right now of who is on our Distant Sound Waves picks. So I'm gonna do this quite fast. So we will talk about it at the end. So we got.
And I will shout out with the ones that I'm like, oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Cherim, Listening to My Head. Mike's drinking a beer, so he can't even say yeah if he wants to.
It's like that. It's like.
It seems like it was
It's
just
like, you know,
obvious.
whenever you
That's
go
like,
into,
nah, I don't
whenever
like
you go
it.
into a whenever you go into a restaurant and the waiter comes over and it's like,
Sorry, can I help you, sir? No, I got most
is everything okay with your meal? And you've just taken a bite. That is exactly
Yeah.
what happened.
It's like if the meal's shite and you go,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So sorry.
it's
Sharon.
good. Cherim,
Yes.
Cherim,
Like that one.
Listening to My Head, Amy Montgomery, Intangible, Don Maple, and Sarah McCready with Rainbow Road, Wynona Bleach with Glimmer, Andrew Patterson with Normal People, Travi the Native with Seem to You, Juan with Valhalla, New Pagans with Harbor, Jordan Atunji with Woke Up, Jasper Mafia with Dressed Up for Nothing, Bobsled Team with Drive, Dina Nuska with Ancient Naturals, Leo Miyagi with Jeff Hardy, Laps with Before You Go, Lou Price, Love Can Pass You By, Smallmint with Live, Farrell's with Separate, Anya with Monoxide, Voodoo Chief, You Should, Coyote Love Hotel, Machine, Civil Simeon with Nightlight, Embarcadero with Teleflop, Gareth Dunlop in 100 Years, Moon Landing with The Room is Spinning, Mulholland Jive with Levitate, and Don Maple and the Hungry Ghost with Hopeless. Yeah, I don't know if I told you, but there's a
I
band
don't
called
like that last one.
there's a band called Mulholland Jive, Mike.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
I was like, the name alone made me put them on the list.
Yeah.
That's the name counts.
Very, very cool. Yeah. I love Farrell's track that they put out, and I've already forgotten everything that you just went down there. Civil Simeon. I listened to that quite a lot on repeat.
Yep.
And there was Laps was the other one that I
Laps,
found
yeah.
myself listening to an awful lot this year.
I definitely,
I
yeah.
really
I mean,
enjoyed
I'm a
it.
huge fan of Laps, and like, you know what I've said quite a few times is that I do think that The Room is Spinning by Moon Landing is maybe one of the most underrated songs that came out this year.
It is great too.
I love that song. It's beautiful. Oh, we have a comment that said it needs more metal. True. Yeah, but there's probably metal. You know what? Metal are the most exclusive people. They have their own. They'll have their own awards. They'll be like the Metalhead Awards or some shit. I don't
there's
know.
some cool instrumentals in there.
There is very cool instrumentals. That Mulholland Jive is an instrumental, but it was really cool. I really.
There's
enjoyed
one
it.
cool. There's one from Andrew Simon McAllister, I think. It's
Feels
called
like
Rainy Days.
I was gonna say it feels like you fully made that name up. Why not? It felt like you were looking around the room or something. Andrew Simon McAllister.
I think it's Andrew Simon McAllister, Rainy Days. And the only reason, once it started playing, I was like, is this in Bloodborne? Is this what I've heard this before?
Bloodborne. Imagine. Yeah, I mean, there is some heavy stuff in there. And you know what? To be honest, there was actually something I should look it up now because I'm going to forget. If he's saying it needs more metal, I need...
Catalan, ungoogleable is good too.
Ungoogleable. That's such a great name for a song. Catalan's really funny, man. I like Catalan. Oh, hey, you know what we need to shout out is the two founding members of Beauty Sleep are getting married. They're engaged, guys. Oh, man. Congratulations, Shailene and Ryan. Oh, dude. I seen that. They got engaged. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. So now they're going to get married. So they'll be husband and wife and in a band. Does it get cooler than that? Probably not. Right. I'm looking up something specifically for the comment about metal. There is something that I seen recently that I'm like, I actually need to talk about this on the podcast because it's specifically for heavy bands.
Here, the other point I would make though about if it needs more metal, if you know a metal band that has put out a release for next year's NI Music Prize, like submit that shit, get it in, because this is what we said before. Like, you know, as long as it's not absolute white noise, as long as you've taken your time, you know, to have a proper produced track and stuff, and it you know it is worthy, it'll end up on the long list is legitimate releases for the year. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
if
it
your
doesn't matter if you're
metal
metal or
band
not.
from the scene or whatever is not on there, then friggin' submit that shit for them, because maybe they don't know to do it themselves.
Can I have a hot take?
For sure.
Hot take.
Go for it.
So listening through the track list of almost 100 songs and listening to music in general, I feel like there's a lot of similar sounding music that comes out of here. I know that each place has a sound, but everything sounds almost the same.
Do you think?
Yeah, I get. I mean, there's standouts from it, but whenever you listen,
from somebody that wasn't brought up here, coming in, you can tell. Now I can tell. It's like, oh, I know where that band's from. That's the sound. Yeah. It's just the sound. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm gonna admit right now, you guys have done better than me in listening through that whole playlist. I haven't even actually done that yet, so I don't know. I suppose maybe that's a surprise to me because I've gravitated towards the different ones that stand out to me. So like I'm thinking back on the playlist and going, really? That's a lot of stuff was different genres, like very different.
And again, that me saying that was taken from this playlist plus years of going to. Yeah. Like I'm literally coming around and thinking back. I'm like, yeah, there's a sound, and the majority, a high percentage of bands hit that sound, and that's why things for me personally get muddy, and I don't know who's who.
Yeah, well, I 100% get that, and I would think if anybody's listening to this show and taking notes and stuff, is the people that are going to go on from that long list to get down to the short list and eventually maybe win are the ones that stand out as something different, or you can't pin them as being from here and stuff. So, you know what I mean? It's definitely something to aspire to, is to like do the weirdest version of what you are comfortable with, you know, go nuts and actually try and stand out from the pack sort of thing. And I think people that are kind of taking risks and stuff is what I personally am like picking out from that list is, as you say, like it's one of those things where you listen and it's not a bad thing to sound like you're making music from here, but sometimes you just go, oh, that doesn't even sound like it's from here or something like that. It sounds, you know, that just sounds like it's radio ready, it's ready to hit the charts, it's ready to like absolutely blow up sort of thing. And there is sometimes that, which isn't fair because we've talked about it before, a lot of the times just people immediately, which I wouldn't do myself, you know, you try and give everything a chance, but sometimes people just immediately recognize that it's from here and then they dismiss it sort of thing.
There's a heavy there's a heavy punk influence over here.
Yeah.
Like heavy punk influence. Like most songs, most smaller, up and coming bands start with a punk sound. Maybe that's just from the music history.
Well,
I guess.
Yeah,
I would even say in general, even in other music scenes in other countries, a lot of, like, if you're talking about four-piece bands, like 2 guitarists and a bassist and a drummer, a lot of fucking kids probably start out with like punk sort of, even if they're not trying to do punk, even if they're trying to recreate something like a lot more musically complex, like, you know, they're friggin' interest in friggin' Pink Floyd or some shit like that, all experimental stuff, they probably still come off punk in the early days sort of thing. I think that
bring back pirate metal.
Yeah.
Pirate metal is the way to go. By the way, right, I got 2 things here. First one is that I really wanted to find the thing about the metal bands, and I couldn't find it. I don't know. There was something
all
about
that padding for you, and you didn't find it.
I know, dude. I was looking so hard, and I can't remember where I seen it. But there was a thing about heavy bands.
It wasn't even padding. I forgot that you were looking.
Oh, well, I was looking. That's why I wasn't talking. Because if I'm talking, then I'm not looking, and if I'm looking, I'm not talking. Can't do 2 things at once. And then the second thing is that it's just about to get real. Time to get real, man. Time to talk shit about the things we can't stand. Ain't nobody out there's getting a pass. Smart enough, dumbass.
Geez, not even beer this
Straight
time?
from-
Oh, this is gonna be a good one.
Straight from the bottle.
Is that David
I
Beckham's
feel like
drink?
I feel like
It
we've
is.
triggered him with something that we said. Shit's about to get real.
I'm gonna mute both you bastards. Lesson number 1 of Northern Ireland music. I'm not gonna actually mute you. I'm just being annoying. If you're releasing Northern Ireland music, here's some tips. Number 1, don't write a song about Northern Ireland. Number 1 lesson. Don't write a song and be like, Belfast, Belfast is the place that I go to, Belfast. No, don't do that, because it's stupid. And you're not gonna break down some form of barriers. Nobody gives a shit. You don't need to write a song about Belfast. Belfast, going to the pub, drinking again at some Belfast. No, nobody cares, right? Lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, stop picking words that sound good in a Northern Irish accent. Like, stop being like,
Are there words that sound
when
good?
down. People love to get down in there. It's like, going down, wrapping my head around. Like, okay, you're from here. You're not. Snow Patrol did it, so it's okay. You don't need to do it again. If you're playing folk music, stay in a bar. We don't need it on streaming services. Just saying. What else? Oh, don't be an anti-vaxxer, Van Morrison. If you're Van Morrison, don't be an anti-vaxxer. But mostly, don't write songs because you're from Northern Ireland. Don't write songs about Northern Ireland. All right.
Yeah.
Going up the County Down. County Down is... See, that's a double whammy for me.
Yeah.
Because we've got Down in there, and then we've also got Northern Ireland. So, like, going up the County Down. Down. Yeah,
What
okay.
about going down to County Down?
No, we're going up
Then
the
you
County
get,
Down.
then you get to...
Down to County Up. Am I right? Sitting back on my stool. That was an unexpected smart enough dumbass. I didn't even have a can to open. I just had to drink straight from the bottle to go white trash. I also, so I got this, which is Hague Club, which I don't really like, but it was pretty cheap at the time. And
Is
it's
it a
also,
funky one? Is it like a different
Yeah.
one? What's that orange thing?
And
in
I
it?
hate
it
it.
orange?
It's hilarious. You said white trash and you're drinking a David Beckham drink.
Well, it's not like David
Here.
Beckham made it.
Yeah. Also, dude, it's one of the cheaper whiskeys.
Actually,
yeah.
It's because the percentage is less because it doesn't taste like whiskey to me. And this one...
Is it orange flavored?
It is. And,
Yeah.
like, I feel ashamed to admit that because I bought it out of interest. And I was like, I can't be so close-minded because the minute I seen flavored whiskeys, I was like, no. Because I don't believe
I love that you are just drinking it like a tin of Monster.
Because
this is the orange one.
This is my favorite flavor. It's like nothing, dude. It's like, well, okay.
Like 70%.
I was like, it's only 35% because I'm used to it being 40. It's still pretty bad, right?
That shit'll still fuck you up.
It'll still fuck you up a little bit. I definitely have an issue.
Hide them like I do.
Yeah, hide your issues. Don't do it on a live stream, Donald. I'm gonna change my name to Donald Maple. It's happening. It's happening. Hey, by the way, while I was searching for that thing, you know what I did see? Is that in that Baby Keem Kendrick video that's gonna come out, Kendrick has been credited as Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Again.
Because it's like a movie scene.
It's the way he signed off the letter, this Oklahoma thing, which somebody did
about the video itself. It's like a Tarantino movie. It's got their three names at the bottom.
Yeah,
but it's got, and then there's a
it's credited.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma seems to be the name he's going by. Somebody did point out to me in the comments of one of the things that, like, you know, if you take that middle section, it is very close to K Lamar, but it's like K Lama. No R on the end and an O at the start for some reason. It's very close to K Lamar, but not quite. And it's like, I don't really know what the purpose of it is. Watch that video if you want to see the theories that are on it at the minute, but I think they're all a bit of a stretch. But I'd recommend you go and watch it. It's on the channel. Right. What's next? It's the shout-out segment. Are we at the shout-out segment already? Oh, shit. There you go. There you go, guys. We're nearing the end of the episode. Who knew it? It's only been 1 hour, 43 minutes. See, Andy, you say that you don't like structure, but what would we do without structure? What would we do without my notes? The episode would never end.
24-hour long episode.
Yeah, we would just keep going.
This episode would be less time if there was structure.
Probably. There's a loose structure. I feel like I can't say structure right now, and it's probably because I drank Hague Club straight from the bottle. Structure. You want structure to the episode? Fine. Here's structure for you. Here's my favorite songs from the last week. That was me doing it. Drunk. Fake drunk. Right. We got Virgins with Vows. We sort of have been anticipating the song, to be honest. The guys have been promoting it really well, and this is another project that involves Michael Smith. By the way, if you just follow Michael Smith, my God, the guy never stops. Yeah, he is involved in so many projects, and somehow makes a band called Virgins cool. So, like, you know, take from that what you will. But I could never call my band Virgins because everybody would be like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Even though he's got a kid and a wife. They'd still be like, fair enough. They've adopted. But Virgins, they've released their debut single, Vows, and it's very much a shoegaze kind of like... yeah, it's like... I don't even know how to compare it. Compare it to something. Like, the minute I say shoegaze, I always want to jump into, like, a Smashing Pumpkins thing, which probably isn't fair.
I heard a bit of that. I seen
it's a little bit Smashing Pumpkins.
That was, like, compared to Cocteau Twins a little bit.
Oh,
and I can definitely hear that as well, especially the vocalist on that. And I'm gonna blank on the name, but yeah, she definitely helps to give it that kind of vibe.
Yeah, and it is like, I mean, it's what shoegaze is all about. It's like have a bunch of really distorted guitars and add like a ton of reverb, like make that thing so wet it's like it drowned in the ocean. Sorry, it sounded like, I don't know.
Daddy Pav.
Yeah, the minute I say make it so wet, it's
Put
like
Brian Adams to shame. Ryan Adams, whatever his name is.
Brian Adams. I don't know. They're both kind of perverts though. Brian Adams did all them sex crimes, and Brian Adams was singing about summers at 69. And so either way, they were kind of perverted. Summers of 69. Summers of 69 and. Sorry, I'm just everyone's checked out. That's okay.
Oh no, I just didn't want to make the episode. Otherwise, this could be another tangent. So I'm cutting myself.
Oh, you're cutting yourself off.
You're censoring yourself.
I just feel like I have said this before, but what cracked me up is whenever I read that news story to be like, oh, Ryan Adams was actually singing about Brian Adams. Fuck's sake, Jesus Christ. Brian Adams was actually singing about a summer where he did loads of 69 and I thought that was really funny because like I genuinely sing that in work whenever I hear that song because it's on so much. I'm just always like, it was the summer of 69s. I would just add in that S at the end. Changes the whole concept of the song.
A little bit,
yeah. But then the fact that he was like, yeah, no, that's what it's about. I'm like, oh, I don't know whether that's funnier or not. Is it sadder? I don't know. What a summer. It was actually the summer of 1984. But I like to call it the summer of 69. Oh, how do we get onto that? You can use that, virgins, in your review, your Spaceship's review of vows. They say
they're virgins.
Have you ever experienced a summer of 69s? Embarcadero. We're moving on to the next song, and it's Embarcadero with their next single. It's not out yet, so like don't, it's not like I'm reviewing this straight away, but every Embarcadero single has been really good, and they have their next one coming out this Friday. It's called Left to Prove, and then they have an EP coming out shortly after that, which I imagine will have all the songs thus far. Yeah, these guys are doing a really good release run. It's actually similar to what Civil Simeon did last year, whereas like we were getting like a song a month. I kind of feel like we're getting that from these guys, is like a consistent release of songs. Like they've had maybe a full EP, but instead of dropping it, they're just doing like one song at a time. I don't know if they're working that way. Maybe so, maybe not. But you know what? Keeps us interested, and I just love saying the band name. So like, kind of any song that you have, send it our way, because I will. Yeah, any excuse to say Embarcadero. Plus, that's too far away. I'll go get it. Hold on.
Oh, God.
I don't think it's going to be worth it. The build-up is just...
These musicians always have to grab a guitar or something.
He is like that, yeah. That
what?
Typical guy at the party.
I said these musicians always have to grab a guitar at any moment. Hey, do you want a conversation? Molotov cocktail.
Just let me grab the old guitar. I've had 2 bottles of orange whiskey.
It's all about the comedy, brother. Embarcadero. Teleflap. Just say all their songs.
That was fun.
Teleflap from Embarcadero. Next on Cubano FM. Cubano FM? It's a Cuban channel now.
I just want to imagine all of their song titles now as wrestling moves. So teleflop definitely works. It would be like a suplex or something.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's it.
But like left to prove is got to be a finisher, I think.
Yeah, that's yeah. These are great. These are 100% wrestling moves. Yeah, left to prove. What other songs did they release?
Let's see.
I gotta look them up. Let's look them up now and see if they're wrestling moves. Again, feel free to use this in your review if you want to quote us. Your Spaceship says that Embarcadero Teleflop sounds like a special WCW wrestling move. Some kind of suplex, probably. Teleflop just seems like a suplex where it's like you lift them up for the suplex, but then instead of going backwards, you went forwards, and then you flop their belly.
Yeah. It definitely works, although one sounds like the worst wrestling move ever and not very painful. So this one works okay. There's one called down, which that could be a wrestling move. That's fine.
I guess. What are you from Northern Ireland over there? Down.
Down.
County down.
That's how you say it whenever you're referring to the wrestling move. You can't just say down.
He hits him with the down.
With the down. So the one that maybe works, but I don't know if it would really finish anyone, is called Chasing You Around.
Oh yeah, that's like some sort of spoof character's special move.
Like the Blue Meanie or something like that.
Yeah, the Blue Meanie.
Well, they don't need to sound.
He hit him with the Chasing You Around.
Bray Wyatt had a finisher called Sister Abigail.
That's but why does it still sound cool? What was that?
Because just immediately in your mind you give like two words and you say it's a wrestling move, and then you're like, I'm wondering what then they actually do.
What is the move? Yeah. Like, I gotta admit, right, and I know I will frustrate wrestler heads everywhere, but you know what really frustrates me is, like, as much as I love an RKO, and I really do love an RKO, can we all just acknowledge that it's a Stone Cold Stunner? That's why it's so good.
No, you're frustrating me with that. Because it's not. It's a diamond cutter. Dallas Page.
It is more. You're right.
Thank you.
Andy is right, and it is like a diamond cutter. But the thing is, the diamond cutter was never as satisfying as the Stone Cold Stunner, because all that the Stone Cold Stunner added on was a kick in the nuts. Yeah. It was just like a diamond cutter was grabbing somebody by the neck and pulling them down and hitting them off your shoulder, and it's like, hey, that's badass. You know what's more badass? Kicking them in the nuts first. And then they took that away? Are you serious?
Them in the stomach.
No, you gotta kick them in the nuts. Sometimes it depended what mood Steve Austin was in, whether you got a kick in the nuts or a kick in the stomach. But I don't know. It's my opinion. It is my opinion out there that there's never been a more satisfying wrestling move than this Stone Cold Stunner, because it is literally kicking someone in the balls and then grabbing their neck and just bringing them down to the ground. It's like, that's the best move that's ever been invented. People's elbow, nothing compared to kicking someone in the nuts and bringing their head down on your shoulder.
And the thing is, Austin Stone Cold, he made that move sound cooler, because I think the original move was called front neck breaker before he was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That fucking sucks. Front neck breaker? That's not good. Stone Cold Stunner is definitely the way. And I mean, he made it better because, like, the minute he hit them with it, it was like a kick down, and then he would be like, blah, pulling the fingers at them.
I don't think anybody could sell it better than The Rock, though.
Rock,
he would almost bounce back up onto his feet after he got one.
Yeah. People are good at selling that. But I hate how much people love an RKO, because, like, I know why you love an RKO, and it's because it's as unexpected as the Stone Cold Stunner. It's the same thing. Out of nowhere. It's like you don't know it's coming, and there's no prep for that. Like, The Rock's people's elbow takes fucking forever, and it's like, well, we know it's coming.
But the thing is, the spine buster could also be out of nowhere. That leads up to... I can do a full podcast of wrestling if you want.
Oh, we're not going there. We're not going there. I could do a
Save that
podcast
for our other podcast. Yeah.
I know. I could do a podcast on wrestling
about
up until
ideas.
2002, but we would have to end there, and then Stuart doesn't know anymore. So that was Embarcadero with Left to Prove. That's our review. Stone Cold Stunner is the best wrestling move. So whenever they release a record and they have, like, Embarcadero, NI Music Prize nominated, your Spaceship says the Stone Cold Stunner was the best wrestling move. We're going to need that on there. Next up, Spire View and the new EP that he released called Individual Thought Patterns. Spire View is genuinely shaping up to be, like, my favorite new find from this podcast. It's so good. And I would highly recommend anyone out there to go and listen to this EP. I feel like it's got a lot of similarities to what I try and do as Don Maple, like, quite a lot. It's like sad pop records. That's pretty much what it is. But yeah, like, I heard it and I was like, yeah, I totally could see Like, the sort of stuff that I go for is in there, and yeah, I just love it. I just think it's really good.
Emo, a little bit electronic.
Yes.
I think he done a track with Leo Miyagi, I think, a while back that kind of put me onto him in the first place. And I think whenever we were talking about that track, I was kind of saying about I got like Play Radio Play vibes a little bit.
Totally. Yeah, I get that.
There's another guy called Fatsy, I think, that kind of sounds a lot that sort of style of music and all as well. But it's 100% like down my street. I've been listening to that a lot since it came out. Like
down your street or up your street? Down your street. Oh, it's okay. Dang. Oh, is it hurting your voice?
Got caught in my chest there.
Yeah, those are my top picks. You guys got anything for this week's shout out segment?
It's
okay if
shouted
if
out.
you don't. If I shouted everyone out that we picked, then that's fine. Because Mike sent me these same 3 things earlier, and I'm like, yeah, that's the 3 I got.
Wynona Bleach got signed to.
Oh fuck! I have that in my notes. Why did I not talk about it?
Yeah, I knew
right
there was
here.
something that I sent you that we didn't talk about. Yeah.
See you, Stu.
Oh. He got so excited he's kicked a cable out or something. Oh
Right.
no.
So before that happens,
I panicked so much that I left the stream. I panicked so much I left the stream.
That's what we just said. We thought you kicked a cable out or something.
I was
No,
about to
actually-
say I was about to panda with my shout out, but I was like, all right,
No, go for it. Andy, shout out.
I'm just shouting out because I've just been. I was going through Instagram earlier because I've just to see any just catching up with weeks of unseen stuff. Just shouting out John Andrews and all the covers he's been doing, like on his Instagram page.
I think
Just
he's
from
like
literally from his room.
he's
or
chomping at
wherever
the
he
bit
is.
to go back and
Yeah.
play shows. Like for
He
sure.
played an original song. He was doing. I think he done 2 Pink Floyd covers. So yeah, shout out to that guy. Haven't heard or seen him.
Oh, he fully thrives on the live show, and I think I have been thinking about him during the full scale lockdown where he hasn't been able to perform because he definitely thrives on that. And yeah, shout out to John, man. John Andrews band. I'm sure they're gonna get back at it very soon, and
They're gonna be ready to go very quick because he just hasn't stopped.
totally.
He hasn't stopped. I know.
Yeah, he'd been learning like a
There'll be
million
no
covers,
shaking
writing
off
all
the
these new songs.
cobwebs for him.
No. Whereas if you see me at a live show, probably don't come. Probably don't come to it.
Just go to the second Dom Maple live show after.
You can come to them all, but I'm gonna come on like I think it's the podcast. I'll be like, welcome everyone to the live show. I'm your host.
for this
performer.
live show.
Dom Maple.
Maybe that'll
Smarten
be
up, dumbass. Smarten up. Everyone's like, what is happening?
Maybe that'll be the alternative for the live show. We do the podcast, you do songs.
Oh, wouldn't it be?
between.
It would be such a twist though if I went up and I didn't actually perform any songs. People thought they booked me for Dom Maple songs, but I actually just did the podcast up there.
Some
Solo.
sort of mixed media performance. You could do a song, then we'll get up on stage with you. We'll interview a member of the crowd. How did you think that song went? Did you
Yep.
like it? Anything you would change slightly, or
Oh God, no!
you know,
Don't do that.
What's
Don't
your
ask that.
favorite thing on the set?
100%.
And then they go
yeah.
down, and then you do another song, and then we bring up somebody else.
This is a guarantee. If I ever play a live show again, I will come mic'd up and we will make it the podcasts simultaneously somehow. We will. I'm not even joking. It's like I'll bring my
we
microphone
can just
with
be me and Andy can be on the stage live streaming.
Yes.
And then it's looking backwards to
Yeah.
the back of Stu, who's playing a crowd playing a show to a room full of people.
Yeah. So it's like this is my band, but my band are kind of just my podcast hosts, and they're just
They're just gonna be
podcasting
talking
right
in
now.
the background.
They're just gonna be podcasting this entire thing. Oh, an interesting choice for the second song.
I can be.
Hope it
Live
works out
commentary.
for him.
I'll just walk about like Bez, like the maracas from Happy Mondays.
I was gonna say, who the fuck's Bez? Happy Mondays. That's a deep cut, Andy. I don't know. Bez from the Happy Mondays. Jesus Christ.
Plays the maracas? No, am I the only one? Surely.
All right, we're not doing a podcast in the 1980s. All right.
Tell me I'm not the only one knows who Bez is.
Well, I know who Bez is from the Happy
okay.
Mondays. I just didn't expect to go there.
Hold on. You talk about the Beatles 90% of the fucking time. And
Greatest band in the world, my friends.
Sorry, that's my shout out. John Andrews, what up?
John Andrews. Anybody
And
else,
Bez.
Mike? Or and Bez from the Happy Mondays? Keep shaking them things.
No.
Well, I think.
Right,
Sorry,
don't kick your-
I think Jordan got played on Radio 1 as well. I think.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
pretty sure I seen a screenshot.
For all we know, Jordan Adetunji has a new single out because every time we do an episode,
No, I
there's
think
one
it was
right around the
Waiting-
corner.
I think it was the one we brought up last week.
Yeah,
I think it
Wasting
was
Time.
and it might be on the Radio 1 rotation, so
Oh, dude.
I think that might be a stretch, but I think.
I don't even know what he's doing. Like, right now, there's probably, like, 3 new singles out from Jordan Adetunji. So, you know. I don't know how he does it. It just keeps coming. Yeah, look, that's all we got.
Hey.
Unless you guys
Hey.
got anything. Do you have
Hey.
something else? What?
Don't get really excited. Don't kick your computer again. Wynona Bleach.
Oh,
Signed to a record label.
Yeah.
That's
he's
very
got it.
funny.
Yeah.
Nah, no, that was so funny. I took myself off the stream for a second, like I did it again. Funny stuff. Yeah, I did have that in my notes, and for some reason, I forgot to read it. Wynona Bleach got signed to Fierce Panda, which, you know, I feel like they've had that under wraps for a while. I'm really happy that these guys got signed. Still waiting on this debut album from these guys, which is called Moonsoak, and I think it's gonna blow a couple minds. I really do. I was talking to a friend the other day, and I'm like, man, do you ever feel like the 90s is like really coming back? Like, people are really feeling that 90s vibe. And then I immediately suggested this band because I'm just like, Wynona Bleach somehow has that like nostalgic 90s feel. Like, it's the second time I brought them up, but like Smashing Pumpkins-esque sort of rock from that era. Sort of grungy, but not so much. Especially like Wynona Bleach is very like, they're managing to take a 90s grunge element and make it a modern day pop song somehow.
Yeah.
Very impressive. But yeah, I immediately like recommended this band, 'cause I'm like, dude, if you're into that sort of stuff, you should definitely listen to these guys, because like I feel like they're totally owning that genre, and it's something that is just getting bigger by the minute. Although these guys have been doing it such a long time, it's all just lining up. The stars are aligning, I feel. And yeah, just really happy for them. I don't really have much else to say. It's cool that they're going to release this record on a label, which is excellent. But that's really all I had in my notes anyway.
Just that.
Oh,
I don't know
what
if
have
you
you
can even see. Oh, you can't see it because the goddamn lights.
I seen the logo for Radio 1. That's all I can see.
Hold on. It pretty much is now playing. Crap.
I definitely can't see it.
It's a crap.
Oh, there.
There
it's
it
starting
is.
to
I
focus
still
a
can't read it.
little bit.
Now I'm playing Jordan Adetunji,
Yeah,
streaming,
wasting time.
wasting time. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
That was
wasting
it
time.
on the Twitter thing. There you go. So that was good. I just wanted to get my facts right. That's all. Thank you very much. Now go home.
Yeah, I
So
know.
go home. We love you. You're
I
very
was close
special.
with that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. The cadence was right there. You got the key right. Yeah.
I'm sweating, by the way.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
done
I
so
know.
much
It's
moving and animated.
Very.
I'm sweating.
It's a warm night, my guys. A
End
warm
it.
night. Let's
About to-
end this
I'm
show.
about
It's
to
been
pass out like that baseball
it's been
player.
fucking 2 hours, dude. So we gotta end this show right now.
The worst
Thank you,
possible
guys.
thing is, I have a fan right there, and it's just going like here. It's not
Dude,
actually
are
hitting
you
me.
fucking
so I just-
serious?
Yeah.
You've got a fan turned on during the podcast. You can't have
It's
external
really
noise on.
Far away.
It doesn't matter.
not-
The minute I
Also-
compress the shit out of this, all I'm gonna hear is
It's also a bladeless.
fine.
It's also a bladeless
Yeah.
fan. It's one of them.
it doesn't matter. I got a
You're right,
bladeless
yeah.
fan right here, but if I turn it on, you guys are just gonna hear.
A bladeless flan.
Which is what you want from your flans, because if it's got blades in it, you probably don't want to eat it. Just saying.
An alternative cake. It's a bladeless flan.
compared to the bleed filled flan.
Yes.
Dude, right. Like, I think, yeah, we'll just end it there. Thanks for listening to 6 Up, bro. Please subscribe to the channel. Check out our website, www.spaceship.com. And we got merch on there. Go buy that merch, baby. I'm on the NI Music Prize, Don Maple. Go listen to my song and stream it loads of times. See you next Wednesday.